Hey guys, welcome back. So as promised, I'm gonna do a video for you guys. I'm just gonna do a short one on, well, as short as I can make it, on charts and different time frame charts, and which charts I look at for which trades, and how I look at the different charts and put them together to kind of tell a story of what I think a stock's going to do. And I'm going to focus just on one stock today. It's all going to be on SPY, but none of this changes for so you could do this, use the same methods on any stock. Um, so um, so first off, I really separate things into really three different sections and three different types of trades. The first thing I look at, or first type, are long term investments, long term stocks, stocks that I don't mind holding for a year or more. I'll put it to you that way. That's uh, the first type that I look at. The second type is swing trades. So those are that could be anywhere from a few days to um, a few months, and it really depends. But more of a in and out, maybe a 2 month, 3 month thing usually, or it could be something as um, quick as a 2 or 3 day turnaround, but something that's multi-day. I'll put it to you that way. Um, and then the last type is obviously your day trades, and so I'm looking at those quick in and out type plays. And I can actually separate it more, but I'm not going to keep it easy for you guys. Um, so let's start with the longer term trades. The first thing that I look at for longer term trades, I'll sometimes glance at the monthly chart, but not really. First one I'll look at is the weekly chart. Okay, so again, for those of you who are newer to technical analysis, when I say weekly chart, each one of these candles is 1 week. Okay, 1 week time frame. So that's the weekly chart. So let's look at it. Right. So obviously it's very bullish. Right. We're in an uptrend. We looks like we may have resistance up here in 460 area. Let's look at the MACD. So the MACD is a little bearish. It looks like it's really trying to go red there. This tells me maybe be a little cautious. Maybe we go up to that 460 area again and come back, get rejected, or maybe we just keep going down red here. We'll see. And just because the MACD goes red doesn't mean the stock is necessarily going to go red. Uh, that in a nutshell, that's what the MACD is telling me. RSI is close to 70. No divergence. So it's closer to the overbought side on the weekly. It's I would say it might even be a little bearish. So that's about as much spend a time as I'll spend on the weekly chart there. Next, I'll move to the daily chart. This chart looks a little bit different, right? So it does look like the MACD. The MACD did cross. It did go green. The histogram turned green. Um, that being said, we are kind of towards the bottom of this channel it's trading in. This line is not support, by the way. That's from a day. That's from today, just showing up on there. Not to confuse you guys. The RSI, nothing really to write home about. Um, so now I'm looking for more direction, right? So now what I'll do is I'll probably go to like the 2 hour chart. Um, And again, here we go. The 2 hour chart looks bearish. Um, then I'll jump over to the one. We're kind of in the middle of support resistance here. Um, MACD is bearish. Look, so this is what I saw when I threw that lotto call play. So it looked like we were going to the MACD was going to cross. We were going right up, and kind of at support. So that's why I threw out that lotto call play at the close, and she just did a okey doke. We'll see what happens. We are towards the oversold area, so again, a reversal would not surprise me, but a lot's going to depend on what happens tomorrow pre-market. So we'll see what happens. But so as far as a long-term trade there, that's as far as I would go. I wouldn't really, unless I'm looking for entry, I wouldn't go much further than that. And that would tell me that, there's a lot of uncertainty right now, right? So I wouldn't enter a long-term trade right now. I don't. There's no clear conviction either way. Now that may change tomorrow or the next day, but it's okay to not take trades too. You don't have to just get in any in any long trade. So let's move on to the swing trade. So this is a trade that I'm looking at to stay in longer than a day, but shorter than a year. I guess that leaves a lot to be. There's a lot in between that, but again, I'm not gonna break it down any more than that. So what I'll do for a trade like that, a swing type trade, I'll always start at the daily. And again, we did go over the daily. It looks a little bullish, right? But we'll kind of see what happens. This MACD is kind of turning over. The RSI is kind of turning over, but that was all recent. That was all at the end of the day. So, or well, I guess not here. I guess this was the past couple days. So, we'll see. We'll see what. So long term, I wouldn't enter a longer trade. Probably a longer term trade, or excuse me, a longer term swing trade based off of that. So then I'll move to the hourly. I won't look at the 2 hour. The hourly is normally good enough for me. And again, when we went over the hourly, we said, this is, I mean, it kind of looks bearish at the moment, but again, we are, that MACD is starting to flatten. Well, it almost, I mean, it really was going to go positive for a second there, and it came back after hours. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here on the hourly, but again, you're really not having any clear conviction. So, and then I'll go to the 15-minute chart. So this will give me a little bit better idea of, look at all that divergence on the 15, of where things sit. Maybe what's going to happen, what I think might happen over the next, maybe day or two. And 15-minute chart, our MACD cross down here. There is a bunch of resistance up here, so we'll have to see what happens. It'll be interesting. But MACD did cross positive. We are kind of towards oversold, so it is possible that we find some support here. 449's held so far. If 449 can continue to hold, like I said in the chat earlier, we're going to see 451 again for sure. So So then I'll run to the 5 minute chart. And again, this is for a longer swing type trade, and I'll look at the 5 minute. And again, this is it's a pretty bullish chart. Again, as long as it's 449 holds, we're in business. If we lose 449, it's game over, I think. But we haven't yet. So as far as a longer term trade, this is where I would stop. I would just go from like the daily to the 5 minute chart. Depending on what I see in different time frames, you can actually, like you'll see, I went from hour to 15 to 5. But there are all these time frames in between too, and I do use these time frames if I want more clarity. Like if I'm seeing some different things on the 1 and the 5 minute, then I'll go to the 3 minute and get a little bit different perspective there, if that makes sense. Same thing with the daily and the hourly or the 2 hour. I'll go look at the 3 or 4 hour and kind of see, okay, does this help me see things a little bit better? And remember, all these charts say the same thing. They're just in different time frames. So, that's what I'm trying to get this point across in this video. That you can look at these different time frames to kind of tell a story. So the last thing I want to go over is our day trades. So our quick in and out type trades. And for those, I start at I don't start at the 15 minute. I may glance at, actually, that's a lie. I start at the daily chart again. And I just look at what I'm looking at on the daily chart and what might happen, right? Because if I know what looks like it might come next, that is going to help me look at the other charts, like the 15-minute chart. Again, we've got resistance up here, but as long as we hold 449, break through some of that resistance, we're going to be in business. I think we're going to see 451 if we hold 449. I don't know how much. I don't know if we'll get past 452, but if 449 holds, we're going to be in business. That's what I'm thinking. From there, I'll go to the 5-minute chart. Look around the 5-minute chart, and again, we said this looks pretty bullish. MACD is bullish, even though it kind of looks like it might want to cross a little bit. We'll see what happens there. Again, it is the 5-minute chart, so this is going to be very volatile and change a lot. And then I will go to if it's a short-term trade, again, depending on how I feel about the trade, I will go to the 3-minute chart, or I will go to the 2-minute chart, or the 1-minute chart, straight to the 1-minute chart. But really, the 3-minute is pretty much telling me what the 5 is. Here you can see how it zooms in a little bit more. It was like, yeah, MACD wants to cross, but no, I think it's just going higher. So see how we couldn't really see it on the 5-minute, but on the 3-minute, it clarifies a little bit more. So that's why, again, you can kind of work your way. Think of it like a focus, like if you're focusing in on with a pair of glasses or vision, it's just, or a pair of binoculars. It's a focus. You zoom in, you zoom out, and that's all charts are. Once you get that, I think a light bulb's going to go on. And then the 1-minute chart. Now, obviously, this is changing a lot. Again, unless it's a short-term trade, this is something I would look for a way, for where to get entry in. I would only look at this. I wouldn't even look at the 1-minute for my long-term trades. Again, unless I'm looking for some type of entry. Like, okay, I decided I'm going to go on in a long-term trade. Now, where am I going to get in? Obviously, I would like to get in somewhere around the bottom, right? I wouldn't want to buy at the top. Every little bit counts, right? So, and then if you're obviously trading or day trading, now these moves are very quick. Again, each candle is 1 minute long, but again, using this 1 minute chart and the assets that we have are MACD crossing, our RSI, and our divergence indicator. So and that's all it is, and that's all. That's the reason why I wanted to make this video, to help show you how you can look at different charts. And this is all one stock we just looked at, but how you can look at different charts for different time frames, to make different types of trades. So I could sit here and talk for hours about this stuff, but it would bore the shit out of you guys, and I'm not going to do that. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you find the information helpful, if you like it, if you want to see more of it, like and subscribe. And I appreciate the support, guys. Have a good one.